For my next number, I'd like to return to the
classic. Time.
Hey guys, I know, it's strange. 3 videos in 3 days. What's the world coming to? I never do that. I normally upload a video, go away for a week, and come back with some more vinyl I found. But no, this is a contest entry, if you will, to Dots and Loops Records and Films. I hope I'm saying the channel name right. I am new to your channel, I will be honest. I honestly did only discover your channel through your contest, but that means your contest is working, right? Basically, what he wanted us to do was think about an album or more that you love but wasn't that people don't really like that much, and I thought of 5 immediately. Couldn't pick one, so I'm going to show all 5 in this video. All by artists I love, all by artists hopefully you've heard of, especially if you're subscribed to my channel. You've heard of these at least. So let's get to this. I'm not going to blabber on for too long because we're already 1 minute and 24 seconds in and I haven't shown you any vinyl. So let's get into this, starting off with no surprises here, a Stevie Wonder album. This is Journey Through the Secret Life of Plants. It's not an album I talk about a lot, which I really, and the reason I don't is because a lot of people did skip over this album. It's the album Stevie wanted to make, and Motown let him put it out after the stream of success he had with his other albums like Music of the Mind, Talking Book, Inner Visions, Fulfilling This, and Songs in the Key of Life. Because of the success of those, Motown let him put this album out, and this is more of an instrumental based album which didn't really connect with those who were into his more poppy stuff. This is more of an album for musicians and people that love like instrumental stuff. There's still a little bit of vocal on here, but it is mainly made for those who are into the music more so than just Stevie for his pop stuff. So yeah, this album was not very critically accepted, wasn't accepted very well by people who were fans of Stevie's poppy stuff. I still love this album to death, I just don't talk about it much because for all the reasons I basically just said, and I really should talk about it more because it's a really good album. Another one that I thought of immediately, again, should come as no surprise, but this album made my top 3rd place, I think, in my top 10 albums of last year, 2018. That is Tranquility Base Hotel and Casino by the Arctic Monkeys. Again, Arctic Monkeys fans were expecting more of what they had previously heard from the band, and when they didn't get it, they really didn't like this album. What happened with this, for me, is what twisted it for me was I actually heard a lot of the songs off of this live, and that sort of changed my opinion. But this is more of a chilled out album compared to their previous stuff, which has been a bit more upbeat, indie rock, post-punk revival type stuff. This is very much a space rock album, very chilled. Particularly when you get to songs like Star Treatment. Actually, I'm not even going to read off the track listing because the whole thing is just a very chilled out album. And yeah, it just rocks from start to finish. So yeah, there is that. And here's one that, again, I immediately thought of because jazz people who I follow, well, not jazz people, but people who say they listen to jazz, say that they're not a big fan of this album, even though they love the artist. Omaha Introvert's a good one. I saw on Instagram she shared this album, and she said she wasn't a big fan. people like Jeff Party and Nas Nomad have said before that they weren't fans of this album, but later became fans after an amount of time, which is really weird because I fell in love with Miles Davis's Sketches of Spain straight away. I just love it. My introduction to Miles Davis, probably not the best place to start with Miles Davis, but still a phenomenal album for me at least. I know it's only 5 tracks long and there's a 20-minute song on this album, 16-minute song on here. I just love this album from start to finish. It is a later issue of this. Came out in 1960. I believe this is a mid-70s reissue, but it's still a great album for me. I mean, he followed up Kind of Blue with this, so a lot of people were expecting it to be more like Kind of Blue, I'm guessing, and they were disappointed when it wasn't. But, you know, I really do. I love this album. It's just a shame people don't share my appreciation for this one because, like I said, I love it. Here's two that maybe you haven't heard of or you just don't like the bands in general, so that's why I've left them until last, because even if you don't like the band, I love them. But I've picked out 2 albums from them I own that maybe people are a bit iffy about. First one is Linkin Park. This is One More Light. This is actually the album that fans hated so much that Chester Bennington took his own life because of the hate that this album was receiving. But I really liked it, even though it wasn't like their previous nu metal stuff that they've been putting out. I still really enjoyed this album. It's the album, I mean, when Linkin Park record albums, it takes them about 12 to 18 months to record something. So they either have to anticipate the come up, they have to anticipate a trend, or they get to the trend super late. And this is an example where they get to that trend really late and fans did not appreciate it. Because the lead single off of this is a song called Heavy, which was very much taking a male vocal, putting a very basic beat underneath, adding a female vocal, and calling it a pop song, which was very popular in 2017, very popular sound. And so Linkin Park were it was popular in like 2015 to 2016, and Linkin Park were very late to that. But again, songs on here like Battle Symphony and Good Goodbye are really what make this album for me. And yeah, I mean, it really hit me hard when Chester passed away, because Linkin Park were one of those bands I went out, one of the very first bands I discovered on my own. So for Chester to take his own life because of this album, I hate this album because of that reason, but I still love this album because of my excitement when it came out, and it being the only album in 2017 I bought on release day because I was that excited about it, which I loved it. The last one is a band I know a lot of people hate. Maybe not this particular album people hate, but I'm just going off of what I know from locally. To me, it's All the Right Reasons by Nickelback. Now, before you click off the video, we all know the singles off of this: Rockstar, Animals, Photographs, and If Everyone Cared. We all know the singles, but this album in general, as a whole, tends to get skipped over a lot. People tend to just listen to the singles off of this album and skip the rest of Nickelback altogether. Particularly the song Rockstar, which I know everybody loves, particularly when I'm DJing. And I drop that song, everyone's singing along to it. So I can speak for me when everyone listens to the singles off of this, but they skip the full album as a whole. So I guess technically it's one of those when you can say it is kind of in this category, but kind of not. But I'm putting it here because I know a lot of people hate Nickelback. I love Nickelback, but I know a lot of people hate them. And I know a lot of people skip, particularly around here, skip over this, in my local area, skip over this album in its entirety instead of just listening to the singles, which really annoys me. So yeah, that's it. That is my entry for this video, guys. Guys, thank you so much for tuning back into the channel. I know I said I was going to wait till Sunday to do another vinyl finds, but I think if I wait till then, my pile would be like twice the size it is now, and it's already getting out of control. So yeah, you might see me a bit sooner than Sunday, you might not, but we'll see. Anyway, guys, thanks once again for tuning back into the channel, and I'll hope to see you guys again very soon. Peace.